Avast, mateys, and welcome back to Skies of Arcadia, where we've stolen the most powerful ship in the world. And now that we're the captain of our own ship, it's time to set up a home base on Crescent Isle. Vice, this is pretty amazing, huh? Heya! Enrique, how does it feel to be outside the Imperial Palace? Everything is so beautiful. I've never seen anything like it before. It looks like someone's a little airsick. Perhaps all of this travelling is a little rough for our sheltered prince. Yes, Ica, you're correct. I never realised that sailing could be so rough. But this was my decision. I can't let a little airsickness slow me down. Enrique, are you going to be alright? Well, it looks like this is going to be a long trip for Enrique. Yeah, don't worry, Enrique. Once you get used to sailing, you won't get sick as easily. I'm sure you'll be okay. Hey, it took you guys long enough to get here. Hey, it's good to meet you. You're Vice, right? Gordo told us that you needed a crew. We're here to report for duty. I'm Brabham. If anything's broke, I can fix it. I'm the greatest engineer that ever lived. That's a nice looking ship. If you want, I can get it running smoother than ever. Crank it up a few notches. Give it more power. I'm Ismail. You want something built? I'll build it. You don't want something built? I'll build it anyway. I'll build some buildings for you. You're gonna need a base, right? Sure. Thank you. I'll leave it up to us, but before we get started, we'll need some funds to cover our expenses and labour. First, I'll fortify the hull of your ship so you'll be able to pass through the stone reefs. Then I'll upgrade your engine, so you'll be powering through those sky rifts in no time. It'll cost you about 25,000 gold. I plan to build you a port and some living quarters first. Let's see, I think I'll need about 75,000 gold. What a bargain! What? So altogether we'll need to give you 100,000 gold? Well, the Delphinus does need some modifications, and we are going to need more than a couple of caves to call this a base. Enrique's right. Let's put off our search for the other moon crystals until we can get the 100,000 gold to pay these, gentlemen. So I've mentioned a few times when we've been shopping that I was wanting to save as much money as possible, and this is the reason why. We actually have over 100,000 gold. We have 136,888 gold, so we can pay them straight away. If you don't have that money, then you have to actually go and grind at this point because you can't make progress until you get the 100,000 gold. So it's a good idea to save it up for now. You don't really need to buy items anyway, so as long as if you make all the discoveries on the way, and you only buy equipment, then you should easily have 100,000 gold. Right, you take your 75,000. Oh, he looks really pleased with himself. Don't worry, this will be the best investment of your life. I wish this base wasn't so secret. I want everyone to see how great it's going to be. The new hull of the Delphinus will be done by tomorrow morning, then you'll be able to go after those crystals. I'm counting on you, Ismail. Vice, I'm so excited. We're going to have our own base, and the Delphinus will be able to go just about anywhere. Oh, I just remembered. We were talking about making a new flag, right? If everyone's finished, we can decide on one. I'd forgotten all about that. Alright, Vice, you first. What? Me first? Well, I put a lot of thought into this. Don't laugh, people. This is what I drew. Being air pirates and all, I figured we should at least have a skull on the flag. And since most pirates use swords, I figured we should have one of those as well. Hey, that's pretty good. Alright, Ica, you're next. I figured the skull thing was overdone, so I tried to go with something quick and cunning. That's why I drew a cat. I drew some gold to show people that we'd sneak upon them and steal their gold before they knew what happened. Ica, that cat looks just like you. Well, I had to give a cat some personality. Do you think I got a little carried away? Way too carried away. Alright, Fina, it's your turn. Well, I felt the scores were a little too scary, so I wanted to make something happier. The word Delphinus refers to an ancient creature that lived in the seas. I drew one of them to show everyone what our ship was named after. There's no reason to be embarrassed, Fina. I don't think we've ever seen an air pirate flag that looks like this. I like it. Well, that's all of them. Vise, you have a captain. Which one do you like? I thought you said you were going to judge them, Enrique. Well, this choice is just up to personal preference. There's no right decision. Personally, I like Thena's. I think I like Thena's flag. It's very original, and people will remember the name of our ship. It doesn't exactly strike fear into the hearts of anyone, but it shows our good intentions. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad. When I first drew it, I thought it might be a little strange. Well, then I'll hang one up on the bridge, too. Oh, it's getting late. I'm starting to get hungry, too. Hey, everyone. Dinner's ready. Oh, great timing. Well, it looks like we're spending the night at our new headquarters, Crescent Isle. So, Vise has already spent about 2 weeks on this island when he was marooned before Gordo rescued him. Well, the improvements to our ship are almost finished, and pretty soon we'll have an actual base on this island. Yeah, starting tomorrow we should start searching for the remaining moon crystals. Yes, but I do hope I won't get airsick. You'll just have to get over that. Oh, Thena, there's something I wanted to ask you. That Admiral, what was his name? Ramirez? How do you know him? What? When we met him in Nazrad, you seem to know an awful lot about him. If you don't feel like telling me, it's okay. Don't worry about it. No, I'm sorry. I should have told you all about him sooner. I will tell you everything that I know about Ramirez. You know that I am a Sylvite, a descendant of a Silver civilization. Ramirez is a Sylvite as well. What? Ramirez was our best warrior. He can channel the power of the silver moon through his blade, making it sharp enough to cut through light. We grew up together a long time ago. He was one of my best friends. He didn't used to be so heartless and cruel. He used to care for me like a little sister. When we heard that the Virians were trying to reawaken the Gygus, Ramirez volunteered to come down here to stop them. He went on a journey to search for the crystals, alone. Shortly after he started his quest, we lost track of him. We never even dreamed that he would join forces with the Virian Empire. Those were the people that he was sent here to stop. I don't know why he changed. I hope that the Ramirez I knew isn't gone forever. Admiral Ramirez, not only is he Viria's greatest swordsman, he's also a master strategist. He used to be Gaussian's vice captain, but I don't even think that Gaussian knows Ramirez's past. Thena. Well, we have to choose whether we should instill her with confidence, or personally I think we should just cheer her up. She looks like she needs it. Cheer up, Thena. We're here for you now. 2 air pirates, a Sylvite, 2 crazy old men, a snot-nosed brat, and an airsick prince. Vario doesn't stand a chance against us. There's no other ship that can boast a more motley crew. Vise. Thena, what Vise is trying to say is that you aren't alone. I'm not sure if I appreciate his comment about the air sickness, but we're all together now. Vise, Iker, Enrique. When I came here, I was all alone. Now I have so many wonderful friends. Thank you so much. Thank you all. I will do my best. Alright, so tomorrow we continue our search for the rest of the moon crystals. We'll start early. Oh, Enrique, are you sure you can get up on time without a servant to wake you? Hey, I always get up on my own. I don't need any servants. Oh, Enrique is our greenhorn, so he's going to take all of the jokes for quite a while, it seems. Well, it's time. Thena, where should we head next? In the east, there is a land that basks in the light of a blue moon. That land is known as Yaphatoma. They harness the powers of the blue moon and have control over the wind and water. Their culture is very different from yours. Yaphatoma. You've heard of it, Enrique? Yes, according to Virian historians, Yaphatoma is a country far east of Nazir. It is scattered across several small islands. I remember the stories. The people are protected by scales and they eat by manipulating 2 sticks to pick up their food.
Huh?
They eat with sticks? And are protected by scales? Oh, Ica, what are you going to imagine this time? How are you supposed to eat with 2 sticks? And what do you mean by scales? Are they monsters? Somehow I don't think it's what you're imagining, Ica. I wonder what these strange wind and water people look like, and I still can't imagine eating with 2 sticks. I was hoping we get to eat all kinds of exotic foods on our trip, but this has me a little worried. To get to Yavatoma, we should sail around the southern tip of Nazir. Some time ago, during the Vayu and Nazir War, a cape was discovered by invading Vayu forces south of Nazir. That cape was named Cape Victory. There's a city there called Esperanza. If anyone knows how to get to Yavatoma, it would be the people there.
Let's go!
Okay, so we're heading south to Nazir. Alright, everyone to their stations. Let's go. And you can see our new flag behind Vise there. So now that the Delphinus can power through the sky rifts, we can continue with the main story of the game and collect the moon crystals. But instead of doing that, we're going to do more bonus content. Because there's about 15 discoveries we can find, about 10 crew members we can recruit, and a few optional bosses we can challenge. So we have a full plate on our hands today. And we're going to start by getting this very sneaky discovery that's hidden between the Dark Rift and Nazir. So we're just going to be skipping most of the random battles that we get into, since we do have a lot of sailing to do today. So we can't be fighting all of these enemies. So it's worth mentioning that you're not really supposed to get this discovery yet. I don't know if you're actually supposed to be able to reach it. And we have found the ruins of Olana. The ruins of a city that served as the centre of trade between Nazir and the East. The ruins show a remarkable blending of the cultures of the East and the West, driven not by the ruling class, but by a strong merchant class. Because the number of this discovery actually comes after all of the discoveries in Yavatoma. So I don't think the game intends for you to get here yet. So it's worth mentioning that that discovery just mentioned that the East and the West used to have trade with each other in the ancient world. But at the moment this giant dark rift is stopping access to the eastern part of the world. So we'll find out more about that later, because there is rather a large mystery attached to the Dark Rift, and it's definitely worth discussing. For now, let's go to Nazrad, since it's time to collect some new crew members. And while we're here, we're also going to soup up the Delphinus with some new weaponry. Since while the Moonstone Cannon is very powerful, we still only have access to the prototype cannons, and we definitely need to upgrade those. Boss Kazim is in the turret on top of a wall. Boss says he's going to attack Vayu and get revenge, even if he has to do it all by himself. Well, he doesn't have to do it by himself, he can join us. So when it comes to crew members, we just have to think back to the people we've met so far who seem like they would make valuable crew members, and who also seem like they will be willing to join us. And we can definitely do with an experienced gunner. Ah, damn it all. They call me the best gunner around. I was Kazim, the crack shot. But I let down my guard, and before I could do anything to stop them, the enemy turned the whole city to dust. It really chaps my hide. I think I'll fly right over to Vayu and give them a blast in the chops. Calm down. You do anything like that and you'll just get blasted right back. It's way too reckless. Ha, so says the man who was so reckless as to escape from Vayu twice over. What is that? You are not. Could you be that pirate Vise who abducted the Vayu Prince and blasted your way out of the Grand Fortress? Well, I don't know about the abducted part, but otherwise yes, I am indeed Vise. In that case, you've got to do this for me, Vise. Let me join your crew. I will never be satisfied until I have delivered a blow from my cannon to Valuer. I must join forces with you and become your ship's gunner. Good, it's decided. Well, it doesn't sound like you'll take no for an answer, so I suppose we might as well have you come aboard. And Kazim has joined our crew as a gunner. So it is worth mentioning that the Delphinus is the most powerful ship in the world, but at the moment we really don't have a crew. And so there's no use having such a powerful ship if we don't have the people to man it. So everyone that we get to join us is going to make the Delphinus that bit stronger, since now we have an experienced gunner to make sure that all our shots land. Right, so there's one more crew member we can grab, and we're also going to go and buy some parts for our ship. Also, yes, apparently Valuer has spread the propaganda that we're evil and we abducted the Valuan prince, even though he came willingly. Valuer must be getting desperate. Alright, so we're not here to window shop anymore. This time we actually want some weapons. So, we can buy ourselves an advanced cannon, a new rotating main cannon developed for the Valuan destroyers, available on the black market. So we'll buy one of them, and then we'll buy the 10-inch cannon coil, a 10-inch secondary cannon with a reinforced barrel that helps to absorb shock. We're going to keep the other prototype cannon just in case we end up not having the energy. Actually, no, it's so much weaker we might as well not. To be honest, I think I'll buy a second secondary cannon and replace the prototype with that. And let's get ourselves a Valuan torpedo. A torpedo used by the Valuer, by Valuer against the Nazrian Navy during the Valuan-Nazir War. Right, and then let's get ourselves a Pyrrhon figure, just in case we need the magic resist. A sculpture based on the mythical guardian of Pyrrhon, increases magic defense. We're not going to equip it yet, though. Right, so we could buy ourselves a compound deck, but we can get an upgrade soon, so we're not going to. And of course we're going to get ourselves an enhanced kitchen. A state-of-the-art cooking facility for great tasting dinners every night. Sadly we don't have a cook yet, so we can't really make use out of that. We're also going to buy ourselves a few gear grease. This is an improved version of Focus, so we might use that at some point. Might see you later, mate. So usually I like to go with two main cannons, a secondary cannon and a torpedo. But at the moment we don't really have a good choice out of main cannons. Rise the Valiant, of course I've heard about you. Everyone talks about your exploits. Welcome to the Sailors Guild. Wait, is that the legendary Decat's coin? How did you find it? I'll pay you 20,000 gold. No thanks. I'll keep it. So if you do need some spare money, then you can get 20,000 gold here for selling the Decat's coin that we got from Decat's treasure. I believe this is the only Sailors Guild that buys it. None of the others do. There's really no point keeping hold of it, but we're going to keep hold of it anyway, you know, for sentimental reasons. And we've received a cham. Everything's changed so much, but at least the water's still flowing. And now let's go talk to that jerk who refused to give us a loan to get a ship. Hey Osman, how you doing? My shop is gone, it's too much to bear. My shop is nothing more than a heap of rubble, and my clerk ran off with all of the money. I'm completely ruined. I feel kinda sorry for her. You know, Vice, maybe we should take her with us on our ship. Ship? You own a ship? How big is it? How much cargo can it hold? How much money do you make transporting goods? You may not look like much, but you seem to be doing well for yourself. Okay, I've decided. I'll go with you on your ship. It sounds like I can make some money. Hold on a second, you can't just decide that all by yourself. I'm an excellent trader. I can help you find treasures that would normally be almost impossible to find. But I seem to recall someone saying that they couldn't loan us even 1 gold without collateral because they weren't running a charity. I understand. I apologize for sending you away so cold-heartedly before. I will make you so much money that anything I would have loaned you before will seem like moon dust. And Osmond's joined our crew as a merchant. So the merchant is actually one of the more interesting crew members. We'll have a look at them quickly now. Having Osmond in your active crew will increase the chance of finding expensive items. Also, the second merchant we get will also do the same, but with rare items instead of expensive items. And what that means is that some of the fights in the game with the airship battles will only drop a bonus item depending on which merchant you have in your crew. The second merchant we don't have yet is by far the best one, because it's better to get the rare items since they're more useful for your ship compared to just something to sell for some cash. But we'll have Osman for the time being until we get the other one. Right, it's time to return to the Delphinus, and we're going to make our way north now and go past Crescent Isle and search for the discoveries up there. The reason why we didn't do that as soon as we left Crescent Isle is because one of the optional bosses is going to be up in this direction, and so we wanted to suit out the Delphinus to be fitting for it. We could very easily beat it with prototype cannons, but it just takes a lot longer and it's really not worth doing. So Crescent Isle should be just over there. Yep, there it is. That's our new home base. We're just waiting on it to be refurbished. Right, so the first discovery is very important that we fly here to the Skull Rock discovery, and then we go up to the top, and then we fly straight forward and spam the A button. If we don't do this, this is a very difficult discovery to find. You have found the balloon flower. A curious plant whose colourful fruit sways in the wind like a balloon. When the thin outer shell is popped, a sweet fragrance is released. It was often seen throughout the world in more peaceful times, but as of late the fruits are seldom seen. So I believe that the tip you get from the Sailors Guild to find that one just mentions that it's somewhere in the skies north of Valuer, which, as you can imagine, is a very vague tip. So it's definitely a good idea to know how to find it. Right, so the next discovery is around this icy region here, which means we're getting close to the lands of ice. We go next to this landslide and start spamming the A button. You have found the Stone City. The ruins of a settlement built into a solid rock wall with countless passageways connecting the dwellings. The homes appear to have been abandoned hastily, but no evidence has been found that explains exactly what happened. And now there's one more discovery up here. This one luckily is a lot easier to find, because it's on this obvious island. You have found the Philosophy Stone. Though my body may age and the sun may set, the soul of a sailor still burns inside me. As long as I can dream, I shall travel the skies. As long as there are skies, my journey shall continue. A Sailor's Philosophy by Anonymous. And now it's time to bash straight through our first Skyrift of the game. The little Jack couldn't do this, but the Delphinus is so powerful that we can just go straight through this as if it's not even there. Okay, now the next discovery should be around here, as well as the optional fight. We should be flying around somewhere. I think that's it, right in front of us. Yep, that's it. Right, so before we get into the fight, first off, with Thena, we're going to improve Cupel with this other Abbot Chan we have, and we'll turn his lance form into a frying pan. Cupel morphs into a frying pan and uses all of its strength to whack enemies over the heads. And of course, if you're stuck in the rain, then you can improvise and use your trusty frying pan as a drying pan. Everyone loves Brock. Right, and now that we're here, we're going to equip the Captain's Hat so we do more damage. And let's go take on this giant squid. So there are going to be 4 enemies like this hidden throughout the world, and this is the first one we fight. Ah, that squid's huge, it's bigger than our ship. I've heard stories about a giant squid, but I never actually believed any of them. Alright everyone, battle stations. Right, so to begin with, we're going to throw up Marco here, since he will double all of our spirit at the end of a turn. And then we're going to spam focus on this turn. And we're just going to get our energy up so we can start properly firing the next turn. So sadly these optional boss fights with the Delphinus tend to not be that difficult. So the actual boss fights we fight normally are going to be a lot harder than this guy. He's here more just for the cinematic effect of beating a big monster, as well as the loot that we get from it. Squidding. Sadly, he only has this one attack, and it does very little damage, so we won't need to heal or guard until he's dead, which is a real shame. That's why we got all this advanced weaponry, so we can just burn him down a lot quicker than we would have before. And luckily, getting hit by the squidding doesn't reduce our accuracy. That would be quite annoying. I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but the Delphinus' colour scheme has now changed. We used to be purple, and now we're blue, thanks to Athena's flag that we've adopted. And if we picked Ica's flag, then maybe you would have gone red. I'm not sure, because to be honest, I've only ever picked Athena's. We can change flag later in the game if we want to, but I'm not sure why you'd want to. Right, so now it's time to fire off our 10-inch coil. And let's start buffing ourselves. And you fire off our other 10-inch coil. And you just focus. Actually, no, we've got the spare energy. May as well throw out an advanced cannon. So the 10-inch coil alone doesn't do that much damage, but we can now use it, unlike the Little Jack, which could only use secondary cannons up to 2 turns. These secondary cannons can be used on all 4 turns. So as long as if we have the spirit for it, we can fire every single turn in a fight. So it might not be very powerful, but keeping in mind that it's basically like chip damage and damage over time, it wrecks the enemies over the course of a fight. Because we're going to be doing between 2,000 and 4,000 damage with this cannon likely on every single turn. These secondary cannons are definitely my favourite of the game. Because even though the main cannons are really big and beasty, and the torpedoes are also dangerous if they actually hit the target, I just love the idea of damage over time. It's just such an effective way to beat the enemy. Especially since then you can still focus and guard on the same turns. Ah, what a waste of food. So the more we damage this guy, the more tentacles he'll lose. And you may have also noticed that we still had the lights around him from where the tentacles used to be on that animation. There are a few attacks in this game that don't change when the enemy starts losing body parts. And it is kind of silly. Doesn't that thing know when to give up? It's already lost one leg and it's still attacking us. That one tentacle alone probably could have fed us for a month. What a waste. Yeah, that's a real waste. Right, so next turn we can fire off our Moonstone Cannon. Right, so if we focus on all 3 turns, we should be able to fire the Moonstone Cannon next turn. But let's just be safe. Alright, I meant to use drilling on him this turn. Never mind. The reason why we didn't use drilling on the last turn was so that I could use it on this one, since we only have the one move before the Moonstone Cannon next turn to use Increm with. Oh well, he's probably going to be dead without the debuff, it doesn't matter. No, we missed both our cannons. That's really unlucky. I'm not sure if there's any other enemies in the game that have the same effect. There is one more boss in the game that has a similar issue to the Squid, with the animation not changing when it loses body parts, and it's really obvious when it happens. I won't need to mention it, but I will mention it at the time anyway when we fight that boss. Because it is very funny. Right, so next turn we're going to be able to Moonstone Cannon him right in the back. Well, then again, that would be a bad idea. Probably right in the side. Vise, we're all waiting for your orders. What should we do? Right, so usually the correct idea is always to get behind the enemy where they're weak. But keeping in mind that this is a squid with ink that can attack from behind itself, that's probably a bad idea. Let's maintain present course. Maintain present course and speed. It's too soon to make a move. It appears that the squid can attack behind itself, so perhaps it's best to try and stay beside it. Good thinking, Fina. Alright then, maintain present course. And this lets us use the moonstone cannon. Now let's just buff ourselves. And then let's start shooting off our 10-inch. Actually, we can't do it, never mind. Let's just do that. So hopefully he's going to be dead from this moonstone cannon, but it might need one more. So yeah, if we decide to attack behind it, then we get ridiculed for making that decision. Oh, that's a nice chunk of damage. Right, hopefully our secondary cannon can finish him off, since he only has a tiny bit of health left. You can do it, Fina. Never mind, you can't do it, Fina. Oh, it's not Fina's fault. We can blame Kazim for that. He's our gunner now. So I guess I will mention that Fina is starting to make some good decisions now, like a true air pirate. She's definitely warming into the whole being an air pirate. He's not going to survive that long, so let's just throw in our secondary cannon, a torpedo, and then let's just burn him down. So once he loses all of his tentacles, he enters his final phase where you can do the moonstone cannon every single turn. But we didn't need it, and he explodes on the way down. Somehow a squid explodes. Don't question it, it's fine. And we get the alloy deck, which is the guaranteed drop for beating this, and the crystal ball, which only drops if you have Osman in your party. So that's why we wanted Osman with us before we fought this thing. Right, so let's check out. Well, first off, Vise, I want you to equip your white map again, so we can sail easier. And then for the Delphinus, let's check out the new deck we just got. So the alloy deck has 70 defense compared to the 40 from the one we could have just bought. So this is a very good item to get early in the game. A deck armoured with an alloy including moonstone dust, improves ship defense. So this is going to make us a tanky boy for the rest of this section of the game. So there should be one more discovery over here above one of these craters. And some fish. You have found the giant squid nest. We thought it was just a big rock, but when we threw the anchor, this huge eyeball opened up and those red legs came out of nowhere. We just ran for it and barely made it out with our ship in one piece. An anonymous sailor. Right, so sadly we can't continue this way, because the dark rift is blocking us. So now we have to go back down south. And we're going to head back to Nazrad and then go through the North Daniel Strait where the Valuans attacked from and make our way over to, not Pirate Isle. Actually, yeah, we will be going to Pirate Isle, but not yet. We're going to Sailor's Island first to get ourselves some sailors. Since it is the logical place to look for some new blood for our ship. It is nice just being able to have a nice relaxing trip through the skies. Aboard our new ship, the Delphinus. in all of its glory. The Delphinus is a truly beautiful ship. You know, I guess you really can't beat a good old-fashioned sailboat like Vi said, but when you're talking about high-tech ships, this is definitely up there. Right, so here's the North Dannel Strait. This is where Vi were attacked from because no one expected them to be able to get through there. But now we can as well. And here, somewhere, should be a discovery for us. Ah, there it is. We found the ship graveyard. This North Dannel route was once feared as the home of a monster that ate ships, but in reality it's an area where currents are so strong that the previous generation of ships lacked the power and hull strength to make it through. Right, and now let's make our way over to Sailor's Island and also Doc. It's been a while since we last gave Doc some moonfish. So let's go and do that. Let's see, so here's the guidepost. So here's Sailor's Island, just past it. And I believe that up there is Doc. How are you doing, Doc? It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Hi.
Oh, I brought you moonfish. So we're just going to feed the burb all of these moonfish. We get ourselves some fish. You probably tried feeding them this, but as Doc said, all this bird eats is the moonfish. Right, it looks like the burb is evolving again. We can't really see the change from here, but we'll be able to see it later. I think he's just got a bigger hairdo. And we get the Warrior's Heart. That's a very good item. We'll be using it quite a bit, I think. Right, let's feed him some more moonfish. Yeah, we can see that his hairdo is all curled up behind him now. We get the Ancient Bracer. And a Magilex Idol. Okay, it looks like that's all of the moonfish we had.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem, Maria.
Whoa.
For you, Maria, it's no problem at all. If it's moonfish you want, just leave it up to me. I'm going to bring you more than you'll ever need.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vise. Maria's slowly becoming herself again. I owe everything to you. I don't know what to say. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really do. Ah, come on, Doc. Don't get all teary-eyed on me. I'll just keep gathering fish to make her happy, okay? You know, you remind me of a man I used to work with. He was a lot like you. Honest, kind. The kind of guy that everyone likes. Well, he was a little more refined than you, though. His name was Ramirez. I hear that he's been promoted to the position of Admiral in the Valerian Armada now. Ramirez? Huh? You guys know him? Well, more or less. Doc, can you tell us what you know about Ramirez? Oh, sure. It was a long time ago, back when I was still working for Admiral Mendoza and the Violin Armada. We were sailing along mid-ocean when we encountered a ship the likes of which we'd never seen before. And aboard that ship was Ramirez. He was an odd fellow to say the least. I distinctly remember the clothes he had on. Very unusual. Yeah, so those are definitely Sylvite clothes like Fina. But Ramirez turned out to be as intelligent as he was good with a blade. Admiral Mendoza grew to like him rather quickly. Admiral Mendoza saw that he had potential and began training him to become an officer in the Violin Armada. He had high hopes for him. We were all surprised at how little he knew about the world, but he was so honest and sincere that everyone loved him. And I too was glad to have a crewmate who seemed trustworthy, someone I could call a friend. Okay, so something definitely must have happened to Ramirez, because he used to be a lot different to what he is now. Ramirez, from this day forth you are a member of the Violin Armada. Hold your chin high. Thank you very much for your help, my lord. Way to go, Ramirez. I knew you'd make the cut. Thank you too, Doctor. Oh, come on now. Stop calling me Doctor all the time. Everyone just calls me Doc. You two never change. I just want to let you know, you two are like the sons to me. The sons I never had. I hope I can count on you as my right-hand men. My lord, you're being a little greedy there, aren't you? My lord already has 2 lovely daughters of his own, and yet he wants sons too. That's not what I mean. All I'm saying is that you two can count on me as you would a father. My lord, I thank you. You do not know how much this means to me. Man, that Mendoza guy is amazing. It's a shame he's dead, because he would be a great admiral to have now. Who would have thought that Doc and Ramirez used to be buddies? Alright, Maria, I hear you. I'll be there in a second. Vise, please feel free to come by and visit whenever you want. I'm sure Maria and her little feathered friend will be happy to see you. But don't forget to bring more moonfish with you. I'm sure there's plenty still out there somewhere. So we're starting to learn more about Ramirez, so when we get some more moonfish we'll be able to learn even more about him. Because he's definitely changed to how he used to be. Well, now it's time to go and dock up on Sailor's Island. So, there's going to be 3 people to recruit on Sailor's Island, so let's start with our old friend Lawrence. You're asking me to join your ship's crew? I only join crews where the owner of the ship is willing to pay me for what my skills are really worth. I want 10,000 gold. Get me the money and I'll come aboard. Alright, so Lawrence here is a mercenary, and we're willing to pay it. 10,000 gold is worth it. We gave 10,000 gold to Lawrence. Good, we have a deal then. And Lawrence joined our crew as a helmsman. So now we don't have to be at the wheel all the time. We can go and explore our ship and still sail. So that's definitely worth a 10,000 gold investment. And now it's time to finally get ourselves a cook so we can have some nice warm meals. So, you kids are recruiting new members for your crew. Wow, you've come to the right place. They don't call it Sailor's Island for nothing. I'm sure you'll find plenty of candidates for your crew. Actually, Polly, we were wondering if maybe you'd like to join our crew. We'd be delighted if you would come with us and be our cook. You're probably the best cook we know. What? You want me to be your cook? This is a joke, right? Well, ever since the sailor I married got shipwrecked during one of his voyages to the east, I've had to make ends meet by running this tavern with my only daughter, Anne. I can't suddenly just pick up and leave. Why not, Mother? Go ahead and go. You've always said, Mother, that you wish to have a ship so you could go and look for Father. I don't even remember my father's face, you know. If anything, do it for me. Go find my father and bring him home. Don't worry about the tavern. I can take care of things while you're away. Anne. Thank you, Anne. I will find your father and bring him home to show him what a wonderful daughter he has, I promise. Well, I guess this is it then. If you are serious about your offer, I'd be happy to join your crew. Leave the ship's galley to me. I'll cook up lots of tasty food loaded with nutrition. That's what we're talking about. Polly's joined our crew as a cook. How you doing, Anne? Don't worry about the tavern. I can take care of it. I don't have 20 years experience as a tavern keep, but I do have nearly 10 years experience as a waitress. I know, right? Everything I need to know to run the place. Right, so now we just need to get one more guy, and it's sadly the person who we haven't done anything with this entire game. But he had a separate minigame in the original version on the Dreamcast with the virtual memory card, and that's our good old friend Pinter. So, you finally have your very own ship, huh? Maybe it'll make things easier for the both of us if I just go with you. And Pinter's joined our crew as a delegate. Right, so while we're here, at the top of that lighthouse at the very start of the game, I looted an item from a message in the bottle. There it is, the note in the bottle. A note found in a bottle that says, "Quetia, please send warriors to help us fight." And I said that we wouldn't get to use that item for a very long time. And that time has finally come. We can now use this item to get ourselves a crew member. And so we're going to head over to Arcadia and get that crew member. But before we do that, we're first going to go and pay a visit to Gordo. So before we head to Arcadia, we're first going to go back to North Ocean and pay a visit to Gordo. Because after we defeated him, we noticed on the wanted poster that it mentioned he set up a bistro in the North Ocean. And we haven't had a chance to go there yet, so this is our first opportunity. Let's go and see how he's doing. The ability to fly through the sky rifts really does give shortcuts in the game, because we could just get straight to North Ocean. So here's Gordo's Bistro. Let's check it out. How are you doing, Gordo? Oh, hey, it's you guys. Don't you remember me? It's me, Gordo, the Black Pirate. I had a change of heart and I decided to open this restaurant here in North Ocean. It's a nice place, don't you think? I've taken flavours from the four corners of the world and made a new style of cooking. Oh, it definitely fits you more than being a sky pirate. Welcome, guys. Come, you must eat until your belt bursts. Try my new Skardine sewers. Besides, you're much too skinny to be a captain. A man is not judged by his looks, but by the girth of his belly. Oh, okay. How much is it going to cost me to get food? Welcome to Gordo's Bistro. Would you like to try our famous full-course dinner? It's very good at 4,000 gold. I can't afford that. It appears you don't have enough money. All of our food is made with the best ingredients, so it's rather expensive. Please come back when you have a little more money. Right, we heard Cupel. Right, so there's a cham. And let's have a talk to Domingo. Hey, wait a minute, you guys? You're a legend among sailors around the skies. You know of me, right? I'm a travelling treasure hunter, Domingo. I travel the world looking for discoveries. It's quite a relaxing job if you ask me. I agree with that, I do like looking for discoveries. If it's okay with you, I would like you to join my crew. Let us work together and find all the discoveries in the world. Sorry, but the only people that I team up with are beautiful women or men who are better treasure hunters than myself. Well, if you can find at least 30 discoveries, I'll admit that you're better, but I doubt that anyone would actually do that. I wouldn't talk so fast. I've already found more than 30 discoveries. Really? I don't believe it. You actually found more than 30 discoveries? You're truly a treasure hunter, Vise. Like I promised, I'll join you in your quest. And besides, you've got two very beautiful women with you. How can I resist? Are we sure we want this guy on board? He better not be using that magnifying glass. Right, let's return to the Delphinus. And now let's make our way down to Arcadia. So there's that tricyclone discovery. So it seems to spawn at Gordo's Bistro. So if you ever have a problem hunting it down, you can always wait until now, and then go out of Gordo's Bistro and it'll be right in front of you. And that's the trick to a lot of the travelling discoveries in this game, is that after you load in an area, it resets its original position. Let's just bust through the sky rift, and now we're at Arcadia. So there's 3 crew members we can get here, but sadly we can't get one of them yet. But we're still going to talk to all 3 of them. Welcome, welcome. You are heroes. It's an honor to have you here. Please make yourselves at home. Anytime. I do love Fortica. It's such a nice city. You know, it's no Crescent Island, but you really can't judge places based on Crescent Island, because that's our home base. Of course we're going to have a preference for there. So, when we last left here, Hans told us that when we were a captain of our own ship someday, he would love to be our engineer. So, let's give him that chance. Oh, Mr. Vise, hello. You're a captain now, aren't you, Mr. Vise? Congratulations. Right now, I'm working as a factory technician, but when my stint here is over, I wonder if I would be willing to take me on as a part of your crew. I would like to be your ship's engineer. Of course, Hans. Of course, Hans, it'd be great to have you aboard. Really, Mr. Vise? I can be your engineer? Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be working with you. Yeah, so sadly, him being a professional engineer, he's not willing to just drop his current job. So we need to wait until we're done with the next area of the game, and then we can recruit him. But at least now he knows he has something to look forward to. So there's going to be 2 more people here that we can recruit now, and we're going to go and get both of them. And then I believe there's only 1 more crew member we can grab at the moment, and then we have them all. So you can get about 1/3 of the crew members in the game straight away as soon as you get the Delphinus. And then the next lot will come over the course of the game. So over here, there was someone who found our fight with Grendel awesome. And he's probably going to be willing to join us. And he has very good eyes, so he will make a good lookout. So let's go and ask him. Also, on the note about the Grendel boss fight, it's worth mentioning that both Grendel and Rekumen, if we face them with a Delphinus, which is as powerful as a Gygus with that Moonstone cannon, we might actually have a chance of just downing them outright rather than having to incapacitate them. It's just a shame we didn't have the Delphinus until now. Since obviously a little fishing vessel, as strong as the Little Jack was, just didn't have a chance of actually beating the Gygus. Hey Tika Tika, how you doing? You have a nice ship. Have you flown around here a lot? Do you know this place well? Have you seen a ship with all women sailors around here? Sometimes I see them flying around nearby. They're very different from the women here. Even with my eyes, I cannot always see where they go. I'm very curious about them. Women only? Maybe you're talking about the village of Ixtanes. Yes, that must be it. So there really is a village of only women. I've been searching for it for all my years. Thank you. You're truly the best sailor I know. Take me with you on your ship. I want to travel with you. Really? You'll join the crew of my ship? That's right. I'll join your crew. I've been looking for someone who can make good use of my incredible eyes. With my eyes, I can see the enemy from far away. Other things too, as clear as day, will be just as useful to you. And Tika Tika's joined our crew as a lookout. Right, so there's 1 more person we can grab while we're here, so we're going to go and make our way to the tavern. And see if we can recruit someone in there. Since if we remember, there was a character who told us that one day they hope to have their own ship so that they can take the fight to Valuer themselves. And we both have a fight against Valuer, and we have a ship. So we'll ask them to join us. Right, so to get to the tavern, we just have to cross these planks. And then we climb the longest pole in the game for the final time. Well, let's enjoy this. You know, I think this pole is starting to grow on me. I'm really more of a ladder person, but this is a very nice pole. I have to admit. Ah, sadly that's the last time we ever get to ride it. Let's go. And let's go and have a chat with Merida, the dancer. That is a very powerful ship that you have. I hope one day I will board a ship and look for comrades to help me get revenge on Valuer. I wrote a letter to Quetchia and sent it into the sky. I asked Quetchia to please send me strong warriors to aid my cause. Could this be that letter by any chance? I picked it up in the ocean. That is the letter that I wrote to Quetchia. I sent it looking for help. Quetchia surely sent you to me. You must be the warriors that I'm waiting for. Please, take me with you. I want to fight against Valuer. I may not be strong, but I can dance. My dancing will lift everyone's spirits. And Merida's joined our crew as a jester. Sorry for taking her, mate. When Merida left, my tavern became a very lonely place. But if she is happy dancing in your ship, then it is worth it. If Merida is happy, I am happy. So we're going to have Merida dancing with us now. And then when we're back at home on Crescent Island, she can also dance for people there as well. She'll have a nice time, and everyone will enjoy it. So that's everything here. Now it's time to head over to Pirate Isle. It's been a long time since we were last at home, and we probably should check in with our mother and father and let them know we're okay. Right, so the ladder's over here. So sadly this is going to be the second to last time that we come to Hortica. The only thing that's left to do here is to get hands, and then we never have to come back, which is a shame because I really do like this place. We could always come back and have a chat with people at the end of the game, I guess, if we wanted to. But for now, let's just get out of here. So now let's head to the east and make our way through these sky rifts to Pirate Isle. If we go straight east from here, we'll probably end up right at the start of the game. Because I think the very start point is just beyond this sky rift, if I remember correctly. Yes, this is it. So this is the very point where we started the game. Because if you remember over here, this is the very first discovery we found on the Albatross. The Pirate's Grave. I do like how Overworld basically just wraps around on itself once you have the abilities to get to places. Because these sky rifts do very well at cornering off where you're allowed to go to. And then once you're able to get through them, it's basically a shortcut to everywhere in the game. Hey, let's talk to the merchant. A Valuan ship, please spare me, I've done nothing wrong. I have a family to feed. What? You're air pirates? Oh, you scared me there for a second. Oh wait, I suppose I should still be scared, huh? Nah, we're blue rogues, we won't attack you. Hi guys, how you doing? Hey there, Vise. I heard that you not only managed to escape from Valuer again, but you stole one of their best ships as well. That's incredible, but we've got a new ship too. We just finished the last preparations on the Albatross too. We've been working on it for a long time in the underground port, and it's finally finished. I can't wait to take us sailing. Great job. So we lost the Albatross 1 when Valuer bombarded this place. But it looks like they finally made a replacement. Let's go talk to our mum. She's probably missed us. Hey, Mother. Oh, you're home. Do you want to rest for a little while? Yeah, sure thing. Sure, I could use a little rest. Great, I'll prepare a nice dinner for you, okay? Just go upstairs and relax. I'll let you know when dinner's ready. Well, we get to have Enrique enjoying our lovely home cooking of our mother. That's a way better experience than paying 4,000 gold a head in Gordo's place. Good morning. You just be careful out there, okay? And make sure you bundle up if it gets cold. That's very good advice because we're about to go to the coldest area in the game. But first off, let's go have a chat with the kids. Wow, that's a really nice ship, Vise. Where'd you get that thing from? You better let me ride in it someday. Hey, Vise, guess what? Guess what? They let me on the Albatross the other day. Well, actually, I was just helping my dad move some boxes. But you gotta learn the little things like that before you can become a sailor, right? I'm gonna be the best sailor in the whole wide world. Hey, Vise, long time no see. You should come home more often. I want to hear all about your adventures and stuff. I bet you've seen some really neat stuff. Vise, he wanted to ask you to do something for us. We really wish we could go with you and help out, but we're still too young, I guess. That's what our parents say. So instead, we want you to take Pow with you. He'll help you out instead. Pow, Pow. Pow's always been there for us whenever we needed someone to cheer us up, he was there. And we were just thinking that maybe if Pow could go with you, he could cheer you up whenever you needed it, you know? Ha, I see. Well then, Pow, looks like you're the newest member of my crew. You hear that, Pow? Vise is going to take you with him. You're going to get to sail on that big ship with his crew. Pow, Pow, Pow. And Pow's joined our crew as a jester. Of sorts. That's going to be the most difficult decision, is whether we want to have Pow or whether we want to have Marida with us. Because Pow's adorable, but Marida's also an amazing dancer. Right, let's make our way downstairs and have a talk to our dad. And see if he has anything new to say to us, after stealing our own powerful ship. And we've become a captain now. What? You escaped from Valua again? And this time you also stole the Armada's most powerful ship? Wow, I don't know if you're just crazy or just plain tough, but one thing's for sure, you're always full of surprises. Yep, so down there they finally built the Albatross 2. And it's good that they finally got a ship again. Let's go to the office and talk to our dad. Hey Dad, have you seen our new ship? Now listen up, Vise. There are times when something other than brute strength force, so sharpness of mind is demanded of a man. Right, so this is just for talk when he tells us about being a swashbuckler. We've already done that, Dad. I thought you were going to tell us about how amazing it is that we're a captain and stuff. You're supposed to praise us, Dad. We became a captain. Never mind. Right, so we've done everything we needed to here now. We could go back up to the Lookout Island again. Enjoy the longest ladder in the game. But we really should be getting a move on. We'll do it later at some point. Oh, I'm so tempted, but no, we can't do it. We have jobs to do. We have discoveries to find, and then we have to get to Esperanza. We can't just spend all day on Lookout Island. Let's return to the Delphinus. Right, and now we just want to go straight south. So, directly to the south of our home base, to begin with, was the turbulent skies of South Ocean. And if we continue going south, then we'll end up in the frozen lands of the Purple Moon. We're not supposed to be here yet, but we can make some discoveries, so that's why we're coming. Right, so to start with, there's a very hard to get discovery that patrols this area. So I'm just looking for it. Alright, it's not here yet. You have found the lands of ice. A frozen continent sleeping quietly under the light of the purple moon. Ancient legends and myths speak of it as a land of the dead, but its true nature remained unknown until its discovery by Vise, the Blue Rogue. Right, now where is this discovery? Right, I'm not sure if these patrolling ones actually move if you're off screen or not. So we might have to go and hunt it down. It's around here somewhere. We just have to find it. And we fight some jellyfish and penguins. Well, you know the routine. Lambda burst and everyone else pile on the big guy. Right, so this guy annoyingly can cast Dronos on us. But they should still be dead from the Lambda burst. Fire consume our enemies. Yeah, luckily the penguins are still easy to kill.
That was easy.
So we're supposed to be here after we complete the next area of the game. But there is no way to sequence break, we're just coming here for the discoveries. Ah, there it is, right in front of us. You have found the paper airship. Yeah, sorry about not talking then, I was having to look at the TV to get a better view, since the TV's bigger than the monitor. Nobody knows how this piece of paper survived the trials of the ages. Perhaps it's a mystery that will never be solved. Some say that inscribed upon the paper is a map to a fabled land, but nobody knows the truth. The paper airship. It was pushing our ship. That's quite a powerful piece of paper. Right, so there's a few quite difficult discoveries here. Right, we need to make our way back to the actual continent. It should be down here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, first off, let's go for the ones that are nearby. There should be one around here. You have found the ice bird. A strange bird that lives on the islands of ice. Its small wings are not suited for flight, so it feeds by jumping for fish that float nearby. They are model parents. Males and females take turns caring for an egg, never leaving it until it hatches. Right, and then there's another one just up here. It should be on this cliff, I think. You have found the ice lens. A giant lens made purely of ice. It is supposedly impervious to heat. Legend has it that the people of the ancient world used the lens to burn ships out of the sky, or to see faraway lands. But then, why was the focal point last centered on Glacier itself? So over there on the horizon, you can see another one of these boss battles to the airship, similar to the giant squid we faced. However, we don't want to fight him right now because we need the other merchant to get a special item from him. So we're just going to leave him well alone. But while we are here, we are going to find one more discovery we can see in the skies. We just have to fly close to this one. And we have found the Aurora. A spectacle of light that has graced the skies above the lands of ice since ancient times. Auroras are thought to have been caused by the gravity of the moons, and once every few thousand years, a convergence of the moons creates auroras worldwide. Right, so there's just one more discovery, I believe, and it's over here. This one is always hard for me to find for some reason, so we could be stuck here for a while. Let's see, I think it's on this island over yonder, right in front of us. I think it's here. Here it is. You have found the frozen giant. A giant furry animal, perfectly preserved in ice for more than 20,000 years. It is unknown how the creature came to be frozen here. Perhaps it fell into a crack in a glacier while chasing its prey, or was instantly frozen in some catastrophe. Right, so where is that exactly? Right, it's over here. Okay, so I believe that's everything we can discover here. So let's now head over to Esperanza. And we've earned Electrum. Excellent. It's always good to get some more damage spells on Fina. Okay, now it's time to leave this area. So we're just going to head east until we stop seeing the Dark Rift, and we start seeing a normal rift again. And then we can break through there. There we go. Get us out of this dangerous land. We shouldn't be here yet anyway. We only came for discoveries. Right, so there is a single discovery in this entire area. And you'll notice there are many, many rocks here. And if you wanted to wonder, did I once, when I first played this game, click every single one of these islands hoping to find a discovery? Then yes. Yes, I did. I clicked every single one of these. You have found the blimp wreck. Before the advent of sky ships, blimps ruled the skies as a means of exploration. Here lie the ruins of one man's dreams. He tried time and time again to repair his blimp and cross the Dark Rift, but was defeated by the fierce winds. Right, before we check out the Dark Rift, do a spot of fishing. No, the fish didn't like that. Okay, time for us to earn these fish, it looks like. Oh, it's just these guys. Imazels and Kenazels. Right, well, sadly we're just going to have to attack them with normal damage. Right, everybody work on the yellow one. That's the more important one. And then if any are still alive or haven't fled yet, then we'll Rain of Swords in the next turn.
Here goes!
So these Kenazel enemies, with the yellow shards in them, they have a chance to drop an item that sells for a lot of gold. And they also tend to spawn around the Crescent Island. So that's meant to be how you get the 100,000 gold if you ended up spending it too early.
Over there!
But as long as if you get all the discoveries and don't buy useless items like crystals, then you should be fine.
Yeah.
Right, let's Rain of Swords, you guys. Oh no, he summoned one of them. Well, they're just calling more of their friends to be murdered. I probably should have changed our accessory revise back to the captain's hat, because if this doesn't one-shot them, I'm going to be very sad. Ah, never mind, it did kill them all. Well, thanks for calling in your friends to be murdered. Well, let's see if we get any of those gold nuggets, since we did kill quite a few of them then. See, we've learnt Pyron. No, we didn't get any, sadly. That's a shame. Right, so over here, it looks like there's some sort of a portal inside the Dark Rift. Maybe this is how we can cross it. Hey, look over there. There's some kind of a vortex. Maybe we can go inside it. Perhaps we should head over to Esperanza first. I don't know how much longer I can take this before I swear, what are we going to do with you, Enrique? I suppose we have no choice for now. Vice, let's head over to Esperanza. Oh, Enrique. You need to build up your iron stomach. Right, so Esperanza should be around here. If we keep going north and following the rift, then we should end up winding up in Esperanza. Yeah, there it is. Right, so here's Esperanza, and this is where we're going to call it. But for now, let's check out the crew we've now built up. Also, we're going to head back to the Sailors Guild first, and we're going to sell all of the discoveries we just made. So now at the Sailors Guild, time to sell all of these discoveries. The Stone City, the Ship Graveyard, the Philosophy Stone, the Balloon Flower, the Lands of Ice, the Icebergs, the Frozen Giant, the Aurora, the Blimp Wreck, the Giant Squid Nest, the Ruins of Volana, the Icelands, and finally the Paper Airship. And now we've made back basically half of the money that we just gave away to fund our new base. We're back up to 58,000 gold. Let's check out the information for how to find these things that we've now discovered. Let's see, where are all the tips? Here they are. The Stone City. Try flying along the northern coast of Valua. You should be able to see it. The Ship Graveyard. It's near North Daniel Strait. You can't get there with a normal ship though. The Philosophy Stone. It's in the skies of northern Valua. A philosophizing sailor, eh? Sounds interesting. The Balloon Flower. I never thought anyone would actually find it. Try looking in the skies above northern Valua. Yeah, unless you go directly from the Skull Rock, this one is really annoying to find. It took me about an hour the first time I played the game to find this one, even with the tip from here. It's just really not a good tip. The Lands of Ice. Far south of South Ocean, under the purple moon. That's where the frozen continent is. The Icebird. They live on the western snowy plains in the Lands of Ice. The Frozen Giant. Near the Lands of Ice, there's floating masses of ice called icebergs. It's in one of those. The Aurora. Go to the Lands of Ice and I'm sure you'll have no problem finding it. The Blimp Wreck. You might want to try looking at the area right near the entrance to the Dark Rift. The Giant Squid Nest. It's somewhere in the southern area of the Dark Rift. I guess not too many people go there. And the Ruins of Volana. It's really hard to get to, between a sky rift and some mountains in eastern Nazir. And now let's find the ones from the Legends version. The Icelands. Look carefully in the mountains of the Lands of Ice, you should find it easily. And the Paper Airship. I hear it's made out of paper. Well, try searching north of the Lands of Ice. So it's also worth mentioning, we can fight the Ixness demons right now. It becomes available once you get Tika Tika in your party, I believe. However, with that said, it will take us about 20 to 30 minutes to fight them. And this is already really lasting a long time due to all the discoveries and crew members, so there's a perfect opportunity to fight them later after we're done with the next area of the game, and we'll fight them then. So here we are back on the deck of the Delphinus, and as you can see, the crew members that we get on our active crew will each take a spot on our ship. So here's Lawrence at our helm. Esperanza is to the south of Nazir. Do you want to take the wheel now? Ah, not yet, mate. So Ica and Fina are also going to hang out here. This is great, huh, Vise? We can finally make it through the sky rifts. I can't believe it. I know there's so much to see out there. The city of Esperanza. We should head there first. It's located on the southern tip of Nazir. So every member of our active crew, like Pinter here, will all hang out on deck or somewhere else on the ship. And we'll go have a look at all of them later some other time when we have every crew member and see where they all hang out. So we're just going to hang out here ourselves in front of our captain's chair. This is the captain's chair. I guess that means it's mine. I'd rather be at the helm though. It just wouldn't feel right sitting here. Well, we have Lawrence at the helm, so we can hang out here all we like. In front of our new fancy flag of the Delphinus. So it's time for us to check out our crew we've just hired. So at our helm is Lawrence. A mercenary for hire. He sails the skies for a steep price. He will increase your ships quick. So he gives a passive effect to just make us go quicker in the turns. And he'll handle piloting our ship when we don't want to. The gunner Kazim is going to help us out in the firefights. Having Kazim in your active crew will increase the damage done by your main cannons. Personally I prefer the secondary cannons, but still, it's a nice bonus to have. Our lookout is going to be Domingo and Tika Tika, helping us spot our enemies and any local discoveries. Having Domingo in your active crew increases your chance of delivering critical hits. And having Tika Tika in your active crew increases your torpedoes hit percent. So our torpedoes do miss a lot, so it's probably a good idea to take him. But at the same time, we're using the subcannons so much that having the extra crit chance is probably a good idea. So we're going to keep to Domingo. Then our merchant is Osmond to make sure we get all the best wares. Having Osmond in your active crew will increase your chance of finding expensive items. Our cook is Polly to give us all nice warm meals while we're out sailing. Using the crew command, she'll replenish one of the characters' MP. That's kind of useless to be honest, because if we really need to do that, we have items that will do it for us. And our sailor to swab our decks and do all the menial labour is Marco. Using the crew command, he will double all of your spirit points for 1 turn. And our jester is either Marida or Pau. So these guys are just going to keep us company and make sure everyone on board is happy. Having Marida in your active crew will increase your ship's value. As far as I'm aware, that's completely pointless and irrelevant. But, you know, it's always nice to have an expensive ship. And using the crew command, he will raise your chance of attacking first for a full turn. To be honest, that's not really a problem. Going second really doesn't matter, outside of very niche fights. For the most part, it doesn't matter if you go second or first, especially since guarding doesn't matter since it works even if the enemy goes first. So I'm not sure who I'd want to use here, to be honest, because having a cute pet on board is always good, but having someone dancing on board is even better. And finally, our delegate is Pinter. Using your crew command, he will protect your ship from enemy cannon fire for a full turn. I'm not sure if that fully protects us or just makes us take less damage. I never really use it because if we ever do need a heal, then I just throw down a heal instead. The Delphinus has a lot of health, so we don't really need to worry too much about losing it. And he'll just make sure that all of our interactions with the new cultures go down smoothly. So, see you next time when we go to the City of Hope, Esperanza, and find a way to break through the Dark Rift.